Hey guys, welcome to It's Just Wood. Today I thought we'd do a quick video on V-bits and why there's so many different ones. And I'm gonna try to give you a basic explanation of what each one does and how they are different from each other. When I first got my CNC, this was something that I struggled with. That I was trying to do everything the wrong way, and after watching a couple quick videos, I was able to understand what they are. So I thought I would try to make it just a little bit simpler for y'all to understand what each one does and why there's several different ones. So first off, let's get over to our V-carve. I'm going to do a quick demonstration in this. So I've got demonstrations for a 60 degree, a 90 degree, and a 120 degree V-bit. And you can see each one has its own different profile. So what I've got down here is I have a little box. It's open-ended, and each one is 0.125 eighth inch wide, about a quarter inch deep. So when you go to run your toolpath, what's going to happen is your CNC is going to change how deep this bit goes to get this required width. Same thing with this one and same thing with this one. So let's take our 60 degree and we are going to start manually taking it down, and we're going to go until the width of the V bit reaches the required depth or width that we need. So we're about right there. Okay. So that's how far this bit is going to go into the wood to get this required width. So let's take this line right here that I've made and let's move this up and let's get it right at the point just so you can have a uh, pretty good visualization of how deep that bit's going to go into relation to these other ones. So the 90 degree, we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to select it and we are going to take it down until it gets to the point where it's achieving the required width, which is going to be about right there. And we're going to do the same thing with the 120 degree. We're going to take it down. Went a little bit too far there. Let's move this back up a little bit and about right there. So you can see the difference here. So we see that the 60 degree is touching this line right there. So we're going to go back and we're going to get our measuring tool and we're going to measure the distance from here to there. And that is 0.04 inches, which means is that the 60 degree is going to go 0.04 inches deeper into the wood than the 60 degree would. And we're going to go check the 120. And that is 0.06. So the 120 degree is going to be 0.02 inches shallower than the 90 degree. So this is exactly on there, and this was 0.06. So you can see the differences that each bit is going to make look like. So why does that really matter? Well, let's go look. Let's draw us a box, and let's do it 0.125, and let's do it 3 inches wide. We don't need to go crazy here. So let's copy that and take that down a little bit, and let's copy it again. So what we're going to do is we are going to see which each one's going to look like so you can see it better. So we're going to take our first one and we're going to run it as a 60 degree. We're going to calculate that. Then let's go back and let's take the next one and let's run that as a 90. And let's calculate that. Then let's go back to our third one and let's run a 120 degree. And let's calculate that. So you can go in and you can look and you can see the difference that it's actually going to make. Here's the 60. And I didn't run this on a high resolution, which is why it looks a little grainy. Actually, let's go through just to make this a little bit easier for y'all to see. And let's just go ahead and make that a little bit wider. And let's go through and let's recalculate all these toolpaths. Okay, so that's a little bit better for y'all to see. So you can see just here how much deeper the 60 degree is going to be versus the 90 degree, and the 90 degree versus the 120 degree. Almost to the point, if I could get that turn, almost to the point that compared to the 60 degree, the 90 degree is not really taking that much out. So if we go through, let's zoom back in. So if we look at our screen, the 60 degree is going 0.26 inches deep in the wood. The 90 degree is going 0.15 inches into the wood. And the 120 degree is going 0.09 inches into the wood. So what's the main difference? Why do you want to use those? Well, it depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to do text, and let's pull up a text box real quick. If you're trying to do text, it's probably going to wind up being best for you to use a 60 or a 90. We're going to do a quick word here. We'll do home. And let's go ahead and convert it to curve so we can do our welding. Okay. So now let's go through and let's delete this out. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to do the same thing with these. We're going to do a 60, 90, and 120. So you can see if you're doing words, especially if you're wanting to do something painted, your best looking ones are going to wind up coming from your 60 and your 90. When I'm doing text, I honestly prefer to do the 60 because I think it's going to look better in the long run, especially if you're going to wind up painting it. Or if you're even going to wind up staining your wood and routing it and leaving the routed area raw wood, you're going to be able to see it a lot more, in my opinion. Now, your 90 is, I think the 90 is a pretty good to use for a dual purpose, whether you're doing some clearance area or you're doing text. I think your 90 is going to be a good both bit if you're going to need to do multiple things and you won't use the same bit. Now, the 120, if you're wanting to just do some areas that are cleared out, but you don't want it to go that deep, your 120 is going to be best for that. Now, me, I do not have a 120 degree in my bit that I use. I use I use the 60 and I use the 90, and most of the time, I'm going to wind up using the 60. Now, another thing you might want to think about, and we're going to go back to this one. This is one that I've got on Amazon. This is a set that I bought when I first got started into my venture into my CNC world. This is a really good set. It's relatively inexpensive. but it gives you all the different bits, and you can actually play around with each one and find out exactly one you like. That one's got a 60, 90, 120, and 150. But for what I would want to do, the more I've got into this, I'm actually going to wind up probably getting me a better bit, which a good place to get those is toolstoday.com. And if we're going to do a quick search for a 60 degree V bit, getting something that's a little harder steel, this one is the one that I have uh, in my bits. I like using it. It's a very good cutting bit. Now they also make that same one in like a 90. Like this one. It's also a very good bit. Now, if you actually want to get into it and you want to wind up spending, if you're fine spending a good amount of money, this is actually a really good bit because in the long run, instead of once this bit is you can't use it anymore, you can actually just buy this little insert right here and you can replace it. And like, let's see, I'm sure here's the insert knives. So here's one 3006 for a new bit. So it is ultimately going to wind up being a better bit. And instead of having to replace the whole thing, you can just get an insert. And if you're going to wind up buying something like this, if you can, go ahead and get you an insert bit. The good thing about this one is these are dual purpose. You've got a cutting bit here and you've got a cutting bit here. So even though, went the wrong way, even though this bit is 30 or this replacement insert is 3006, you have two bits in here. So technically this is only $15.03, which although this set on Amazon may wind up being uh, cheaper in the long run, I would recommend that you, if once you get to the point that you can, if you're making a couple signs and you see that you're going to use them more, get you a better bit. But this set is a really good set to start with, and I will include a link to this one in the description for this video. Um, but hey, it's all what you want. I mean, you can get. I used these cheaper Amazon bits for a good little while because it was hard for me to justify spending $50, $60 on a bit. But once I finally got to the point that I did, I was amazed at how much better the cut quality is on these higher bits. You may wind up having to do a little bit more cleanup with some sandpaper with this one, but you will still be able to get by with what you're trying to do with just these bits. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you got a basic understanding of what each V-bit is for. I will probably try to do another bit later on, maybe today, on end mills and stuff, and the difference between the end mills and the ball nose. So if you don't care, subscribe to my page. That way you can try to keep up with all the videos that I release. If you have any questions or concerns, you can drop them in the comment section below, and I will try to get to them as quick as I can. But for right now, just get out there and have fun. Thanks. Hey guys, quick thing. One thing that I did forget to mention: when you're going and looking for your V bits, whether it's V bits, end mills, ball noses, or whatever, make sure you double check what shank that you need. Which the shank is the part that actually is going to go up into your router or your spindle. Some of them are 1/4 inch, some of them are half-inch. If it is a half-inch, there you could probably get a step down collet to put a 1/4 inch or a 1/8 inch in there. But you do need to double check and make sure that you are getting the correct size shank that will fit into your machine. Thanks.